Hi guys, welcome back to Linda's Pantry, and today I'm making dog food. It's a dog food topper, if you will. So this goes over our dog's food every day, twice a day, and then they have free choice of a very high quality kibble, and I know that they're getting the very, very best. So aside from everything but the eggs, I've got to get the eggs out of the refrigerator. This week is beef, so they're getting ground beef, 3 pounds of ground beef. This is about probably 2 cups of freeze-dried liver. And I put this in the mix because that gives them their organ meat that they need. And I don't have to mess with liver because I don't like it. Okay, in this, I refilled this can with some rice. We'll get a cup of rice in the whole batch. We've got some freeze-dried peas, yum, and carrots. And these carrots were on their way out, but there's like 3 medium to large carrots. And then the spices are rosemary. Rosemary helps keep fleas away and mites and all that. Thyme. And these 2 things make it smell so good. Dogs don't really taste their food. They smell and act on it. That's why you see dogs just swallow it whole, because they don't need to chew it and enjoy it and savor it. They just know it smells good. It smells like dinner. It always smells like we're eating really good. And then turmeric. I could put pumpkin in there too, but I think I'm out of pumpkin. So we're going to stick with the turmeric. This is good for their joints. And even though they're small dogs, they still need joint health. So going forward, we're going to get over to the stove. I'm going to get this ground beef browned up, and we're going to get to cooking. So super easy. You want the biggest majority of this to be their protein. And then the second biggest to be their vegetables. The rice is literally as, in fact, I'm going to go downstairs and get some green beans because they really do like the green beans in there too. So between the rice is a starch, and it helps fill it a little bit, but it's not even necessary. I put it in there because they really like it, and it kind of binds it. So let's go get the green beans, and I'll meet you at the stove. Okay, so we're at the stove. I'm going to put some olive oil down. Olive oil is super healthy for these guys. They need oil in their diet. And even though we're going to have a little bit of fat, this is pretty lean ground beef. So we're going to brown that ground beef. And Dobby is like already over here going, "What are you doing? What are you doing, Mom?" Now, sometimes I'll make a double batch, like 6 quarts of it, and then I've got enough for 2 weeks. And if I didn't have the beef liver for the organ meat, I would use beef heart or chicken liver or chicken gizzards. In fact, I'm going to see if I have a thing of chicken livers. That might be a good option too. But they love that freeze-dried beef liver. And that juice in there, it's going to cook right along with it. Get rid of this. And one more. And sometimes I do turkey. But they've had poultry the last few times. Sometimes I do salmon and sweet potato. So just depends on what mood we're in, you know. Home canned salmon? Yes, sir. I know what's in it. Never raw salmon. You've always got to cook it. Okay, let me wash my hands. And we should be ready to start breaking that meat up. Bringing over the spices, because that starts off everything with a bang, right? So this pot will be full by the time I'm done. It will be full. And these guys will be begging me for a taste test. So let me get some water and get ready for that. Because it's going to take probably 3 quarts, maybe just 2 quarts of water. We'll see. We're going to go with 1 to start and definitely go from there. And then once I get this meat browned up, we're going to the next step, which is super easy. And I'll be back. We're going to season it, though, right now. Let's get this meat seasoned up. These are rosemary leaves. And I do a heaping tablespoon. It's so good for them. It's good for you. Like, rosemary is very healthy. It's good for your hair. It's good for all kinds of things. And the thyme, we want some thyme. Again, I do another heaping tablespoon of ground thyme. If you have these herbs out in your garden fresh, you could use fresh. It really doesn't matter. And then no salt at all. But we want pepper to activate the turmeric, and pepper is actually good for dogs. Cayenne, no. Chili pepper, no. But black pepper, yes. So we'll say maybe a half a teaspoon, because we're not using that much of this. This little bit of this stuff goes a long way. Turmeric, probably a half of a teaspoon, quarter of a teaspoon. You can eyeball that one. Okay. I'm just going to let this continue to brown, and it will turn the dish kind of orangey, just like when you put pumpkin in there. It's going to take on that orange color. So let me get this meat browned up. So the meat is brown. It's all browned up. The spices, it smells really good. The dogs are already begging me for stuff. And yeah, I've got the freeze-dried liver, which I'm going to put 2 cups of that. I was shy. We'll make this one a heaping. There we go. 2 cups of that. And they already got a couple of those for treats. Anyway, I am needing a drink. Hold on. I'm parched. It is warm today. Oh my goodness. Okay. And I'm heating up the kitchen. Okay. I'm going to start with the first quart of water, because anything that's freeze-dried will have to rehydrate in the water. So I'm going to put 2 quarts of water, and I'm going to beat up 6 eggs. I could have actually scrambled those in with the meat. That's okay. We're going to put the eggs in. That's also part of that meat protein. Those eggs are super good for them. They need those vitamins that come in the eggs. So literally it's just drop and go at this point. Peas, I usually put about half a cup of peas. It's plenty. I know somebody said peas were not okay for dogs, but they are. You just have to, I mean, it's all portion control, right? Carrots. And if you didn't have carrots, sweet potatoes would be really good in this. You can use brown rice, but I have an excess of white rice that I bought, and I need to use it up. Going forward, they'll probably end up with jasmine rice, because that's really all I buy is jasmine rice for us. But I had a big container. Once this comes up to a boil, I'll get these gorgeous eggs in there, and we'll just dribble them in, almost like a egg drop soup for dogs, because it'll cook up. It'll be in the mix. Okay, green beans, I just went down and got those. Let's do at least 2 cups of those. So it should be a third meat, a third vegetables. So equal parts of meat or protein, and vegetables. And these dogs love vegetables. When I first came into the picture with Dobby, he wouldn't touch one of these. He would spit them all out and leave them next to his dish. And now he's like, gobble, gobble. He loves them. Okay. And I'm going to let this simmer to see if I need any more water for the rice before I get going. So we're going to get 5, well, probably, well, we're going to at least 4 quarts of dog food for this week. Maybe closer to 5. By the time it's done, the rice will swell and the eggs will be in there. So let me bring this back up to a good simmer. And it also gets these pieces, they rehydrate and get spongy, but they stay chunky enough that they get a different texture. They get some different textures other than the ground meat. Same with the chicken. I leave some of the chicken pieces bigger so they actually feel like they're getting something substantial. I don't know if it matters, but it matters to me. All right. Let's, and the rest of that ground beef over there, it's going in the canner tomorrow. So I'm thawing that out for canning. And I'm only going to, because the rice is downstairs, so I just fill this Thrive container, repurpose, and I will, that's all they get in this whole thing. So it'll end up to be 2 cups of rice in what will end up to be more than 4 quarts. Most likely it'll be more than 4 quarts of dog food. And I'm going to show you in the end. Okay, I'll be back when it's all simmering nice and all the veggies have become tender. And you cook this, kind of a low simmer, low and slow, so you're not cooking out all the nutrients, but they're all staying right there in the pot for them. This is way better than some of the commercial brands of dog food, especially the canned dog food. My boys won't eat it. They won't even touch it. Okay, so I decided to go ahead, while this is coming up to a simmer, I'm going to go ahead and scramble my eggs. Just like I would for us, real slow, and then they get chunks of it instead of it kind of bleh. And it gives them more olive oil. So rinse that out. And actually that egg water would have been great to use if I needed additional water, but oh well. So I'm just going to let this new pan do its thing. Ugh. I got these at Costco. I'm super excited to have new pots and pans. So I really don't like to do eggs very quickly. Only because I'm not in a hurry. I'd rather have them tender than tough. There's a time and a place for a tough egg, and this is not it. This is exactly how I do my scrambled eggs. I like my scrambled eggs on the soft and tender side. Yum. Look at this nice pan. These, oh yeah, these guys are going to love this. And then you can break up, after you're done, you can break up the curds, but it's incorporating that healthy olive oil into their meal as well. So want these guys around as long as possible, and while they're here, I want them to eat good, just like we do, right? So the ground beef that I'll be canning will be for us, but we'll also we're cleaning out the freezer to get ready for a side of beef. So now I'm going to turn this electric burner off and break up the curds as best I can. This is coming up to a simmer next to it, and yum. 6 eggs on top of that, 3 pounds of ground beef, and these eggs are from right down the street. Okay. My Hinkleware did good. I'm just going to take that off the burner. It's going to cook further inside the mix, so we'll just take that off. Cut those curds up into small pieces, dice it up as you go. And it'll go in the pot. And off she goes. Okay, so now I'm going to put these eggs in here and get this nice, beautiful. Let this pan cool down so I can wash it. And oh yeah, we're going to get at least 4 quarts of good, delicious dog food for them. And I get questions all the time about the homemade dog food, so I'm just giving you another recipe idea. Now, if you were going to replace your dog food completely and have them eat nothing but stuff that you've cooked for them, I'd be very careful with that, because you definitely need supplements, vitamin supplements, or they can get itchy or biting at their paws, and it's just stuff that they're missing. Vitamin wise, I'm going to add another 2 cups of water, because I've got rice going to go in right now, and we're going to let this simmer. 1 cup of rice. When that's all cooked in about 20 minutes, we're talking dinner. Dog food dinner. But then I can package it up in appropriate packaging. I can freeze half of it, and then half of it will be for this week. So there you go. We're just going to let this simmer till the rice is done and the veggies will be tender. Okay, so the dog food is done. It simmered here for about 30 minutes. And you can see, literally you can see, I don't know, can you see? You can see the rice. It's like having a, and I try to pick and choose a couple of vegetables. If there's not a hunk of liver or eggs in there, and this is a pretty big serving, but Bob, the old guy, he can, and I'm not even joking. They're over here begging me, but this smells like dinner. Our whole house smells wonderful with the herbs, the dried herbs in there. So, oh, here comes Dobby. He's like, what are you doing? Well, buddy, I'm cooling off your dinner. He doesn't get as much because he's kind of chunky. I make sure he's got vegetables, egg, and a piece of that liver's in there, and the ground beef. He's going to love it. Maybe it's the weekend. Maybe I'll give him an extra little tablespoon. We'll take him for a run in the field. But this has got to cool down for them. Cool it down. This is just a topper for their dog food. I don't put it over their dry food. I let them free range it once it cools down enough. In the morning, I will take it out, scoop up their amount, and possibly I'll put, because this will kind of set up, I'll put a little bit of warm water or cold water, put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. Make sure it's not got any hot spots, and they got breakfast. And they know what breakfast means. When we get up and say, let's go get some breakfast, that's what dinner is called. They come flying down the stairs out of a dead sleep. So as soon as this is cool, I'm going to let you see how they like it. And oh, it smells so good. It smells good enough to eat. And there's everything in here except for that liver. I would eat, but not eating any liver. Not crossing my lips. No, thank you. All right. Let's wait till it's dinner time. Okay. This one is ready. Are you ready, Dobby? Oh, he says, okay. You want to sit? Can you sit? Sit. He's like, sit for my food? No, I'm not sitting. Are you hungry? Okay. There's Dobby's. And here, Bob. Bob. There's Bob. No, Dobby. That's yours. Over there. He's like, oh my gosh, making a mess. They're going after it so fast. I had to let it cool all the way down. And yeah, messes on the rug, but that's okay. I think they approve. What do you think? That is awesome. He'll clean up the rug, but the rug is going in the laundry now. Oh my goodness. These two. I love it. Bob eats a little bit slower. Dobby's going to take his dish and take it over there so he can have some privacy. Oh, right there makes it all worthwhile to do this for your dogs because they love it and they absolutely. Oh yeah, Dobby's cleaning the rug up now. They actually thrive from this. So they're happy, and it's a big treat for them for the day. And they get other treats, but this is especially wonderful to give them good, fresh, wholesome ingredients that we would eat, right? So anyways, hope it inspires you. If you have any questions or you have any suggestions or any information that you can share with all of us in this community, down in the description comment section, please do so. I've got my Thrive link you can see I didn't have to buy a half a pound of green beans and a half a pound of carrots. Really, the carrots were going bad. If I use Thrive carrots, they don't go bad. But I know some of you are going to say that's too expensive, but really it isn't. It's no waste and no labor, and I already have it on the shelf, and so why not use it? All right, another way to use your freeze-dried stuff. I could have used this for a freeze-dried Friday, but anyway, it's all good. Fresh, frozen, canned, it really doesn't matter. You can use all of it. All right, guys. See you next time. Bye.
Guys, I hope if you made it this far in the video, you'll give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it about your Facebook page or your other social media.